If you are a Canadian senior receiving OAS, CPP, GIS, or related government benefits, August 27th could be an important date for your bank account. On August 27th, 2026, the scheduled payment date for CPP, OAS, GIS, and related benefits arrives. And if you're expecting your regular deposit, there are 3 money surprises you should understand before you look at that payment and assume everything is exactly the same as last month. One surprise could mean that your payment is a little higher because of the current OAS rates. Another could explain why your payment is different from what a friend or neighbor receives. And the third one is especially important for seniors receiving GIS, because your income and personal circumstances can affect how much you receive. So before August 27 arrives, take a few minutes to understand what you're actually looking at when that deposit reaches your account. Let's start with money surprise number 1. Your OAS payment may be higher than you expected because of the current quarterly adjustment. OAS is not simply a fixed amount that stays exactly the same throughout the year. The OAS pension is reviewed quarterly and adjusted according to changes in the Consumer Price Index. For the July through September 2026 quarter, the maximum monthly OAS pension is $751.97 for seniors aged 65 to 74 and $827.17 for seniors aged 75 and over. That means the August 27 payment is being paid under the current July to September 2026 rates. But here's the important part. Those are maximum amounts, not guaranteed payments for every senior. If you receive less than $751.97 and you're between 65 and 74, that does not automatically mean something is wrong. Your actual OAS can depend on your circumstances, including your age and residence history in Canada. Some seniors receive a partial OAS pension rather than the maximum amount. So don't compare your deposit with a neighbor and immediately assume you're missing money. Your payment is based on your own eligibility and circumstances. And there is another reason your August payment may look different from someone else's. OAS and CPP are completely different programs. CPP is based largely on your contribution history, your earnings, and when you started the pension. OAS works differently. That's why one senior might receive a relatively large CPP payment while another receives a smaller CPP payment, but a different combination of OAS and GIS. So when August 27 arrives, don't just look at the total amount deposited into your bank account. If possible, look at the breakdown of your benefits and understand which payment is coming from which program. This is particularly important if you receive more than one benefit. Now, let's talk about money surprise. Number 2, your GIS may be very different depending on your income and household situation. The Guaranteed Income Supplement is one of the most important benefits for eligible low-income seniors receiving OAS. But GIS is not a flat payment that every senior receives. Your income and marital status matter. For July through September 2026, the maximum GIS for a single, divorced, or widowed senior is up to $1,123.17 per month, while the maximum for certain seniors with a spouse or common law partner is different depending on the spouse's OAS or allowance status. This is extremely important because 2 seniors who are both 70 years old can receive very different GIS amounts. One may be single and have very little income. Another may be married with a spouse receiving OAS. Their GIS calculations are not necessarily the same. For example, the official July to September 2026 figures show that a single, widowed, or divorced senior must have annual income below $22,800 to qualify for the maximum GIS amount in that category. A senior whose spouse or common law partner receives a full OAS pension has a different income threshold and a maximum GIS amount of up to $676.09 per month. So if you see someone online saying every Canadian senior should be getting over $1,000 in GIS, don't believe that statement without checking the details. GIS depends on your situation, and here's where the surprise can happen. Suppose your income changed. Maybe you retired recently. Maybe you stopped working. Maybe your pension income changed. Maybe your spouse's income changed. Maybe you had investment income that you didn't have before. These changes can affect the income information used in calculating income-tested benefits. The Government of Canada explains that GIS is based on income from the previous year, and that certain situations, such as retirement or a reduction or stopping of pension income, can allow consideration of an estimate of current year income. So, if you're receiving GIS and your financial situation has changed significantly, don't simply assume that your current payment will always stay exactly the same. And this is especially important if you recently retired. Imagine that you worked throughout 2025 and earned a decent income. Then, in early 2026, you retired, and your income dropped dramatically. Your financial reality today may look completely different from your financial reality last year. That's why seniors who experience a major income change should make sure they understand how that change can affect their benefits. But there's another side to this. If your income goes up, that can also matter. If you're receiving GIS and you start earning additional income, your GIS can potentially decrease depending on the applicable rules. That doesn't mean working or earning more is automatically a bad financial decision. It simply means you should look at your total financial picture rather than focusing on one payment. If you earn $5,000 more but lose some GIS, you may still be financially ahead. The important thing is knowing the numbers before you make the decision. Now, let's get to something that many seniors worry about when they see their payment. Why didn't I receive the maximum? The answer may be very simple. The maximum is only the maximum. For example, the official July to September 2026 OAS maximum for ages 65 to 74 is $751.97 per month. The maximum GIS for a single senior is up to $123.17. But those numbers don't mean every senior will receive $751.97 plus $123.17. Your actual benefit depends on eligibility. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings in online retirement videos. Someone sees a headline saying, Canadian seniors can get $1,123 GIS, and assumes that's what everyone gets. That's not how income-tested benefits work. So when your August 27th payment arrives, compare it with your own previous statements and benefit information, not with a viral Facebook post. Now let's move to another important point about August 27th. The payment date itself is not a bonus payment. I want to make that very clear because there are many misleading headlines online that make regular government payment dates sound like special one-time bonuses. August 27 is a scheduled payment date for CPP, OAS, GIS, and related benefits. If you normally receive one of these benefits, this is simply the regular scheduled payment. There is no reason to assume that every senior is receiving a surprise extra check just because August 27 is being highlighted. But there can be a money surprise when your current payment is different because your benefit amount, income situation, deductions, or other circumstances have changed. That's why I want you to focus less on the headline and more on your actual payment. Now, here's something else worth knowing. August 27 is not the final 2026 payment date. If you receive CPP or OAS, the next scheduled payment after August is September 25, 2026. The official 2026 payment schedule lists August 27th, followed by September 25, then October 28th, November 26th, and December 22. Why does this matter? Because seniors who budget month to month need to know when their money is expected. And December is particularly important because the December payment comes earlier than the usual end-of-month schedule. So if you rely heavily on government benefits for rent, groceries, utilities, medication, transportation, or other expenses, knowing the payment schedule ahead of time can make budgeting much easier. Now let's talk about CPP, because that's another place where seniors sometimes get confused when comparing payments. For 2026, the maximum CPP retirement pension at age 65 is listed at $1,207.65 per month, but that is the maximum, not what the average new recipient receives. So if your CPP is much lower than $1,507.65, that doesn't automatically mean you're missing money. CPP depends on your contribution history, how much you earned while contributing, how long you contributed, and when you started receiving your pension. Someone who contributed at higher earnings for many years can have a much higher CPP than someone who had lower earnings or fewer years of contributions. Now, let's return to the August 27 payment because there is another important thing seniors should check. Direct deposit and payment security. If you're expecting your payment on August 27th, make sure you're using the official government channels to check your payment information. Don't click a random email that says your OAS payment has been suspended. Don't click a text message claiming you have a new CPP payment waiting. And definitely don't give your online banking password to someone claiming they need it to release your government benefit. Government benefits are a major target for scammers because seniors know these payments are important. If you receive a suspicious message, don't let the urgency pressure you. Instead, go directly to the official Government of Canada website and access your account through the normal login process. For CPP, your MyService Canada account can be used to access CPP-related information. For OAS and related benefits, use Official Service Canada resources. And remember this simple rule. If someone wants you to pay a fee to unlock a government benefit, stop and verify it. This is why September is actually a useful time to start thinking about your year-end finances. You still have time before the end of 2026. You can look at your income so far. You can estimate what your total income may be. And if you're considering a large taxable withdrawal, you can get professional advice before making the transaction. I'm not saying every senior should avoid withdrawals. I'm saying don't make a major withdrawal without understanding what it could do to your overall financial picture. Now here's the big takeaway from today's 3 money surprises. Open your banking app or bank statement and look at your normal CPP and OAS deposits. Then check your previous payment. Is the amount similar? Did something change? If it changed, don't panic. Find out why. If you receive GIS, check whether your current income and household circumstances have changed. If you recently retired, check whether your current income is substantially lower than last year's income and whether you need to report that change. If you're still working, understand how your employment income interacts with your benefits. So when August 27, 2026 arrives, don't just look at the number in your bank account and move on. Take a moment, look at the amount, compare it with your previous payment, check what benefits you're receiving, and ask yourself whether anything about your income or family situation has changed. Because sometimes the biggest financial surprise isn't an unexpected check. Sometimes it's discovering that your payment changed. And finally, understanding why. And if you're a Canadian senior watching this right now, remember, your retirement income isn't just one number. It can be OAS, CPP, GIS, a workplace pension, investments, registered retirement accounts, provincial benefits, and tax credits. All of these pieces can fit together. The goal is to understand the whole picture. If this video helped you prepare for your August 27 payment, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we'll continue covering Canadian seniors' OAS, CPP, GIS, government benefits, retirement income, and important payment updates. And if you have a parent, grandparent, spouse, friend, or neighbor who depends on OAS, CPP, or GIS, share this video with them.